I am Ramses II. I am the great son of Egypt. I'm the king of the greatest nation on the face of the earth, the highest, the strongest, the richest, and the greatest nation on the face of the earth.
The legendary King Ramses II welcomes the whole world in the Grand Foyer.
A new record was set for the Guinness Book of World Records by forming the mask of King Tutankhamun using 7,260 coffee cups made of mosaic.
The first ever hanging obelisk worldwide, it shall enter the Guinness Book of World Records after the inauguration ceremony.
Did you know you could see the pyramids from the hall of Tutankhamun?
The Grand Egyptian Museum houses 100,000 pieces of antiquity from different historic periods.
The virtual reality high-tech feature links the antiquities to the places where they were originally discovered.
Moments of glory and pride.
These are historic moments.
It's Egypt's gift to the world at large.
Dream is loading. Soon.
Many people ask. In Egypt and around the world, on the date of the opening ceremony of the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is one of the largest museums in the world, dedicated to one civilization, as it displays more than 50,000 artifacts, in addition to the pieces in the stores. In addition to the collection of King Tutankhamun, whose number exceeds 5,000 artifacts. It will be shown in its entirety for the first time. In front of the audience and in one place. Dr. Magdy Shaker, Chief Archaeologist at the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, revealed that the opening ceremony of the Grand Egyptian Museum will be legendary, to which top presidents and rulers of the world will be invited, followed by a popular celebration, indicating that this event will be covered by all international media. It is expected to be a concert at the Grand Egyptian Museum during the current year, explaining that this museum will be the only one of its kind in the world environmentally friendly. Opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum. The Ministry of Tourism completed 100% of the work. The Grand Museum and work is currently underway on the areas surrounding the museum, and it is scheduled to open the Grand Egyptian Museum with the participation of the sacred boat of King Khufu, after its transfer. The Grand Egyptian Museum is one of the largest international museums in the world, due to its vast area, which amounts to more than 500,000 square meters, in addition to including a large number of artifacts, which exceed 50,000 artifacts, and recently the American Time magazine indicated to the opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum as an important event during the year 2023, in addition to the leadership of the Pyramids of Giza. Magazine cover after I put it at the top of the list of the 50 greatest places in the world in the field of tourism and travel, with the phrase "the best places on earth, a new way to see history by visiting the Pyramids of Giza," and for this we review, through the following report, a glimpse of the Grand Museum. The Grand Egyptian Museum is located on only 2 kilometers from the Pyramids of Giza, on an area of more than 500,000 square meters, and the largest collection of Egyptian antiquities in the world is displayed in it. The museum's location is distinguished by its location between the 2 regions of the pyramids, which have a long history, and the contemporary city of Cairo, which makes it a gateway to Egypt's past, present and future. The Grand Egyptian Museum was designed to display the largest integrated collection in the world of the ancient Egyptian antiquities. The museum includes in its various halls thousands of unique artifacts, dating back thousands of years. The museum reflects the great diversity in Egyptian history and culture. To provide an enjoyable experience for visitors, characterized by creativity and knowledge, by combining culture and entertainment, advanced learning methods, and many other services, which enable visitors to learn about Egypt's ancient past and participate in its promising future. Displays the Grand Egyptian Museum. The ancient Egyptian civilization, starting from the Hanging Obelisk Square, which is the first of its kind in the world. It is the first artifact to receive visitors and direct them to the main hall, known as the Grand Hall, where they are welcomed by the statue of King Ramses II, which weighs more than 80 tons, and from this place, visitors begin their journey to explore the ancient Egyptian history, through thousands of unique artifacts. Visitors to the museum will also see the complete collection of King Tutankhamun's antiquities and treasures, in one place, for the first time since the discovery of his famous tomb. It also includes a children's museum, a space for temporary exhibitions, a library, and an educational center, in addition to a center for the restoration of antiquities, equipped with the latest scientific technology. The museum also includes offices, a large theater, a conference hall, a business area, and fine restaurants. As for the external part of the museum, it will include a group of gardens, including the sculpture garden, the palm garden, and the terraced garden with a unique design. Head of the Egyptology department at the Louvre Museum, the opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum is an important and amazing event. Vincent Rondat, head of the Egyptology department at the Louvre Museum in Paris, confirmed that the Egyptology department in the museum contains many Egyptian antiquities. It is one of the first museums to contain an Egyptian section, adding, "We must remember that the discovery of the hieroglyphic language dates back to 1822. This means that there were 5 years between the discovery of the hieroglyphic language and the opening of the Egyptian section inside the Louvre." Vincent Rondat explained that the Egyptology department of the Louvre Museum is in addition to humanity, just like other museums, such as the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square in Cairo, stressing that this museum added the understanding of the Egyptian civilization. Because before the opening of these museums, it was ancient Egypt. Just some kind of historical theories. And he continued, the ancient pharaonic civilization. It was not understood and there was no complete understanding of it, and our Egyptology section contains many, important holdings that attract many, and Egyptian antiquities. It was a kind of concepts, and through understanding the ancient Egyptian language, humanity became able to understand ancient Egyptian civilization. Vincent Rondat expressed his anticipation for the opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum in Egypt, saying, "We are waiting for the opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum in Cairo. It is considered an important event in the museum. It will be huge and amazing. It will have a unique quality. It will display many rare pieces." And he continued, "I hope there will be a kind of coordination in Egypt and France between these two representative celebrations. The opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum in Egypt, as well as the celebration of the centenary of the Egyptology department at the Louvre Museum. Tomorrow, Monday, the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir will witness the opening of the first phase of its development, which includes the redevelopment and rehabilitation of approximately 15 halls. From the museum exhibition halls, in addition to displaying a group of artifacts, which is displayed for the first time, it is scheduled to be disclosed for the first time about the papyrus that was found in Saqqara, and it was called the Waziri Papyrus, in relation to Dr. Mustafa Waziri, Secretary General, the Supreme Council of Antiquities, and the head of the Egyptian mission operating in Saqqara, which discovered the papyrus. Drive Mustafa Waziri has already said, after the discovery of the papyrus in the Saqqara Antiquities area, which was done by pure Egyptian hands, the process of restoring and opening it began, and its length reached 16 meters, and it is one of the finest types of papyri. On it is written the Book of the Dead, where it was translated. He deciphered all that was written on it. It is considered the first papyrus, which was discovered and opened by Egyptian hands. It is worth noting that the Ministry of Tourism and the Antiquities confirmed that it is not true to close the Egyptian Museum. The liberation coincided with the opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, and that no decisions were issued in this regard. The ministry stressed that the Egyptian Museum liberation will remain open for reception. All its visitors normally without closing, provided that work continues in it. Parallel to the Grand Museum, as one of the landmarks. World Archaeological Museum, where the Egyptian Museum was accredited. Editing on the list of heritage sites. World Organization. The Islamic Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization is ESCO, and the preliminary list of UNESCO, in what is considered a recognition of the museum's value for world heritage, indicating that it has been developed and rehabilitated to improve the level of services provided tourism,